Imagine this. Landing a client who pays you over $1,000 for a high-tech service built entirely with AI automation. That sounds like the end goal, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Oh.
And here's the surprise, which is really the foundation of this whole deep dive we're doing.
Okay.
This was achieved with zero formal team, no expensive, complicated software that costs thousands, and definitely no big corporate structure behind it.
We always assume starting a business needs months of prep, right? A big marketing budget, maybe even some venture capital. But the single secret in these sources is it's just so simple, solving one painful problem for one person, purely by saving them time. That's it.
That is the core. And for you listening right now, looking for that quick, actionable knowledge, that is our mission today. We are giving you the exact blueprint.
Okay, so let's unpack this methodically.
We're going to dive straight into the step-by-step for starting a profitable AI automation service, and you're just going to use your existing network. Very little investment up front. We'll start by smashing some of those common myths. Then we'll get into the research method for finding those really painful client problems.
And after that?
After that, we map out how to build an offer that's, irresistible. And we'll even give you the scripts to find your first client, maybe even for free.
I think the biggest psychological hurdle for beginners right out of the gate is falling for this big business trap.
Oh, absolutely.
They just waste weeks, maybe months creating logos, agonizing over fancy names, trying to look like a polished agency before they've even signed a single contract.
It's that classic burger analogy, and it's so critical. You don't build a giant, expensive restaurant, fancy website, a sales team, an office.
Just to sell one burger.
Just to sell the first burger, exactly. Your focus has to be on making that solution, that burger, perfect and effective. If it's good, people will come back. They don't care about your sign.
That feels a bit counterintuitive, though. Don't clients expect to see, a professional website, testimonials right away?
They want results. They want them more than they want polish. Think about the opportunity cost of spending 40 hours building a website.
Okay.
That's 40 hours you could have spent actually learning a tool like NTN or Make. Those are automation platforms. The client is paying you to make their life better, not to look at your cool animations.
And this flows right into the money myth. People think a tech business needs serious capital.
Not for this. For automation, it's one of the cheapest services you could possibly launch.
So what are we talking really?
Okay, here are the minimal requirements they used. A subscription to a tool like NEN or Make. We're talking maybe $20, $50 a month, tops.
And this is key, a few dollars for API credits.
Right. And if you're not familiar, API credits are just these tiny little fees you pay every single time an AI does a task, like drafting an email for you.
So pennies per action.
Literally pennies.
Yeah.
Your main investment isn't infrastructure, it's your knowledge, which is huge. No inventory, no shipping, no overhead.
This whole minimalist idea, it also just crushes the audience myth. You don't need 100,000 followers or a massive email list. The most successful freelancers and this blueprint, they start with people they already know, their existing network.
So if the initial cost is so low financially, where should beginners really be focusing their energy instead of on, all that corporate branding stuff?
Focus on learning the tools and genuinely helping people, not on designing expensive corporate overhead.
And that's where the curiosity comes in.
Yeah.
Right? You have to work backwards.
What do you mean by that?
Stop trying to sell the big, vague idea of AI. It's too abstract. Instead, pick a specific niche you already get. Maybe real estate agents or local restaurant owners.
So you already understand their world.
You already understand their boring, tedious tasks. That's the key.
And that familiarity, that's like gold. Because once you have that focus, you use what the source is called the listen, repeat, dig method, LRP.
Okay, break that down.
First, you listen. You just get a friend in that industry to complain. Let them vent about the boring, soul-crushing work they hate doing every single week.
Then, repeat. You have to validate that pain. So you'd say something like, okay, so you spend 2 hours every night just answering the same inquiry emails.
You make them feel heard. And then you dig. You find the why. Why does it take 2 hours? What happens if you skip it? Do you lose $500 in business?
And the signal, the thing you're looking for, is consistency. If you hear 3 different people in that same niche complaining about that exact same thing...
That's your gold mine. You've found your product.
But what if you don't have those contacts right now?
Well, the sources give a specific technique for that. You can use large language models like ChatGPT or Perplexity. for really high-quality research.
But you can't just ask a simple question. You have to use a detailed role-playing prompt.
Right. Tell the AI, act like an overworked veteran of this specific job title. Let's say a mid-level accountant. List 10 repetitive, boring tasks you do.
And you have to tell it to include the time spent and why it's so annoying.
Yeah.
That last part is the most important piece.
Exactly. You're not looking for data entry. You're looking for uploading new vendor invoices takes 5 hours a week, and it's annoying because half the fields are always empty.
That's the pain you can automate.
Yeah.
And, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. Beat. Especially trying to get an AI to role-play a niche effectively and give me those specific, detailed complaints instead of just generic stuff. But if you push for that specificity, that's where you find the hidden hours.
And all of this research, it has to lead to one thing, your one-sentence goal. Something super specific like, I help personal trainers who spend hours manually sending diet plans to new clients.
So which element of that research prompt gives you the absolute clearest signal of a service that people will actually pay for?
Specifying the time spent and why it is annoying clearly shows the immediate automation opportunity.
And that leads right into crafting the offer. This part is foundational to getting paid. You have to sell the result, not the AI. Business owners, they care about their lives getting better, having more time with their family, making more money. They do not care about Python or NAN. They care about their weekend.
Let's do a quick contrast. So a bad offer would be something vague, like I'll build you an AI chatbot using Python.
Useless.
But a good offer is magnetic. I will save you 10 hours a week by automating your client follow-up emails, getting rid of that Sunday night dread.
That distinction is everything. And we can build that offer using a 4-step framework, the 4 R's. It's a sequence designed to just kill fear and amplify value.
So the first R is result. You have to be specific with numbers, not faster. Say, cutting client onboarding from 3 days down to 30 minutes.
Okay.
The second R is roadmap. Just explain the flow at a high level. I'll connect your email to a secure database and set up an auto reply. You don't get into the technical weeds.
The third R is probably the most important, risk. You have to remove their fear completely, especially since you're new. So you introduce the free build or an ironclad money-back guarantee.
Right. Most people focus on price, not on fear.
Exactly. And the final R is review. You address the objections before they even say them. Things like, it's too expensive, or I'm worried I'll lose the human touch. You build those answers right in.
And when you're building the solution, you have to respect what the source calls the golden ratio of automation. You don't want AI just running wild, making mistakes.
No, you need trust. So we use a 60-30-10 split.
60% is just standard automation. Simple logic, like saving a name to a spreadsheet. It's almost impossible for that to fail.
Then 30% is the AI. That's the smart part, like drafting a polite, personalized reply. And the last 10% is the safety net, human in the loop.
Which just means a person reviews the AI's work.
Right, they hit the final approve button before anything goes out. This builds so much trust, and it prevents those disastrous automation errors.
So why is making the offer totally risk-free so much more effective at the start than just, say, offering a small discount?
Risk removal builds essential trust and generates valuable case studies and testimonials. Sponsor.
Okay, let's talk about actually finding client number one. The sources are really strong on this point. Ignore cold outreach.
Just ignore it. It is so discouraging, it's hard work, and you can send 1,000 emails and get 0 replies. It's a waste of your energy at the beginning.
So instead, you focus on the warm list.
Entirely. Your first client is someone you already know. Go through your phone contacts, your social media followers. Even if you only have 100 or your old emails, they know your name. They'll actually open your message.
And even if they don't need the service themselves, you use the 6 degrees theory, right?
Yeah, you just ask your friends if they know someone who runs a business. Your best friend might not need it, but her boss might, or his dad, or the person he plays golf with. You're leveraging trust that's already there.
And when you start that conversation, the golden rule is be human, not a salesman.
Please, do not start with some cold, formal template. It's about connection, not conversion pressure.
So for that, you use the low-pressure ACA framework. Acknowledge, compliment, ask.
You've acknowledged something real about their life, maybe a recent post they made. Then you actually compliment something about their work ethic or an achievement. And only then do you have to unlumber. Ask a super low-pressure question about saving time.
Let's do a quick example. A former colleague posts about a project launch that was successful, but, clearly exhausting.
Yeah.
Acknowledge, hey, saw your post about the launch. Congrats. Compliment. I know how hard you worked on that. Always admire your energy. Then ask, speaking of long hours, are you still manually sorting all those feedback emails? That always looked brutal.
See? That completely changes the dynamic. It's not a sales pitch. It's a genuine question about a shared frustration.
And if you're nervous about getting the tone right,
You can use AI to check it. Just prompt an AI to rewrite your draft to be shorter, friendlier, and more casual. Tell it to strip out any corporate buzzwords.
so how does that ACA framework really change the dynamic compared to just a cold sales pitch?
It starts a low-pressure conversation based on genuine connection and specific observation. Okay, so someone replies. They say, sure, tell me more. What now?
Your goal is just to schedule a quick 15-minute discovery call, and you're not selling yet.
Not yet. You use the LRP method again. Listen, repeat, dig. Your only goal is to find their deep, specific pain and, this is critical, what they would actually do with 10 extra hours a week. That's the value proposition.
And this is where we get to the essential and sometimes uncomfortable strategy for starting out.
Mhm.
You work for free the first time.
It's an investment, not a loss. And the trade-off is huge. The client gets a valuable service for free.
And in return, you get a powerful, detailed testimonial and a case study that you can use forever.
That documented, results-driven testimonial at this stage is worth so much more than the money you would have charged. It's social proof.
It's irreplaceable. It removes the risk for the next 10 clients who are going to pay.
Whoa, exactly. Imagine scaling these documented systems. That first testimonial is worth a fortune if you can help hundreds of other people. That's the mindset shift.
So after client number 1 is done, you have to over-deliver relentlessly.
Treat them like gold. Communicate fast. This is what generates those passive, high-quality referrals almost automatically. And you have to document everything.
Document the solution with screenshots, yes. But more importantly, document the, wow, this saved me so much time. Text messages, the emails, the quotes.
That's the real emotional proof. That's what resonates with the next person.
And you still don't need a fancy website. You can just use a simple digital resume, like a dedicated Instagram page or the LinkedIn featured section, or even just a clean Google Doc case study. Keep it focused on the proof.
And the final piece of advice is just consistency. This isn't a lottery ticket. You have to commit. Send 5 personal ACA-style messages a day.
That's 150 meaningful conversations in a month.
And one of those 150 people will say yes.
So what's the key piece of documentation that's most critical when you're moving from client 1, the free one, to client 2, your first paying client?
The documented proof, especially the testimonial, minimizes the risk for future paying clients.
So when we boil this all down, what does it mean for you, the person listening? I think the core message is really powerful. Success in AI automation, it doesn't start with a logo or a team.
No.
It starts by solving one specific painful problem for one person. And you do that by using your existing network and just relentlessly focusing on saving time and getting tangible results.
And think about this. If your first client saves 10 hours a week, what is the total value of those 10 hours? Not just to them, but to the second or third person they refer who has the same problem.
It's an exponential multiplier effect.
Exactly. It's the effect of being truly helpful, and that will always beat flashy marketing.
So don't wait for permission. Don't wait until you have a perfect website. Go check your phone's contact list right now. Your first client is probably just waiting for you to ask the right question.